Hi guys, this is Miss Thatcher. Welcome to Calculus. I thought I'd put together a video to show you a little bit about how to use Classroom and what you can find here and what's helpful to use on the website so that you know going throughout the year where to find all of these cool things. Okay, so first of all, let me get into Student View. All right, so when you first come to the website, you're going to land here, and you see, yes, you can do calculus. It is tough. Calculus is no joke, but I am here to help you learn and understand how to do that, and to help you have a good year. So you can do it. Remember that calculus is completely doable, as long as you're working hard and you're asking questions. Okay, so let's dive into what we have. Off to the left-hand side, we've got announcements, assignments, and modules. So I'm going to start with announcements. So under announcements, I'm going to put things like the bell schedules for the year, and if there's ever a different bell schedule, you'll find that here. Obviously, the Welcome to Calculus video, and then a welcome back questionnaire I'd like you to fill out once you finish watching the video. It just lets me know some information about you and some of your needs so that I can help make our class the best fit for everybody. So don't forget to fill that out when you're done watching the video. Okay, so getting into the good stuff. Assignments. This is fairly sparse right now because I've only got the first few assignments up. But this is where you can find any upcoming assignments, when they're open, when they're due, how many points they are, all that good stuff would be found here. So keep an eye on that. When I do publish them or they start, I believe these guys turn green. So just an idea of things to watch out for. Okay, let's get into the modules, which is where you find the majority of information for the course. We've got our unit one, and then eventually we'll have units two and three and so on and so forth as I open those and publish those units. We've got some miscellaneous information and then some websites that you might find helpful for the course. So I'm going to actually start with the websites. Desmos is the first one that I've got listed here. That is an online graphing calculator simulator. I use it a little bit in class, and there's some really cool um, presentations made with that you can access for calculus. So that's a wonderful calculator to use on the go. There are also some applications for your phone where you can use a graphing calculator that's almost identical to the graphing calculator that you use in class. So you're welcome to use those whenever you're working on the assignments. Now, when we're in class taking a test, you won't be able to use your phone, so you want to make sure if there is a calculator portion of the test that you do have a graphing calculator to use. I put Khan Academy on here because they do have a Calculus AB section that has some great practice problems and answer keys that you can use. So that's a nice resource as well, and some videos. Also, there's just some other websites if you want to peruse through those that I have found useful over the years. And there is going to be a website available from AP Central. And once Mr. Kuhn and I kind of look through that and see how to best to use that, we'll add that here and let you guys know about that. So that's something to be watching out for. Okay, so let's go up and just look at Unit 1 now. Each unit's going to kind of have a similar setup. I'm going to have a PDF of the unit's notes, which you will be filling in as you're watching the videos for each section. And you do want to make sure one of the most crucial things for this course is to take great notes. If you're working through the examples and writing comments down, if you get behind, you can always pause the video and catch up. That's one of the nice things about video lectures. But you want to make sure that you're going through it and you are taking notes as you're watching the videos. That is probably the number one thing that students from last year said they wish they had done better, is taking the notes from the video because it makes a difference. So you can either print this out or you could take notes in your notebook as well. That's totally fine. This is just a guided kind of notes outline. We've got an assignment sheet here, which I'll go ahead and open. I'll give you an assignment sheet with dates, due dates, and video dates, and all that. So it will always have the objectives at the top here for you to peruse. But then if you go down, I've got what we're covering each day in class, the date, the videos that are due, and then assignments we're working on. So let me explain this a little bit clearer. For the videos, these are the videos that are due for this day's class. So for example, this is Wednesday of this week. So video one is due before class Wednesday. So you're going to want to watch video one and take notes probably Tuesday night for class. And then in class, we're going to just recap that briefly, and then you're going to be working in class on problem set one. So this is not, I do not expect you to have this done for the fourth. This is what we will do in class that day, and then the assignment. Any place that's bold is probably some kind of grade. So an online assignment, this is when it's due. Some more online assignments. You've got a little group test down here. And then your actual full-on unit test. So obviously things happen, eventually we get into winter weather and some snow days and the schedule changes. And when that does happen, I'll put up a new assignment sheet so you'll always have an idea of where we're headed and what we're doing. The big thing though is that making sure that you have the video done by this date. So it's due on that date. Okay. All right, so back to the modules. Let's see what else we've got. The problem sets, I will hand you out a physical copy of the problem set in class. So you will have that, but then you always have access online to the problem set if you're on the go. There's also an answer key to the problem set here, so you can access that and work through. I will let you know there's not enough room on the problem sets to do all your work, so I suggest having a notebook to do extra work for your problem sets. And then, of course, we've got the videos here for you to click on the links, and those are just YouTube videos that I've created. When we do notes in class or any kind of work in class, I will also attach any day's notes under the unit so you can access that as well at home. Okay, and then our miscellaneous category, I'll get to the syllabus in a moment, but this bottom part here you'll probably find really helpful. Um, Sometimes in calculus we start working with solids like cones or cylinders and different shapes, and they might ask you to find, say, the volume of a cone, and perhaps you don't have that formula memorized or haven't worked with it in a while. So I included a geometry formula sheet in case you come to some of those problems in your problem set and you need to be reminded. You have that here. There's some pre-cal stuff you might come upon, and then I'll ask you, there will be questions that involve unit circle relationships. So there's a little PDF here too to kind of help refresh. So just make note that those are here in case you need those. Okay, let's get to that course syllabus. So there's tons of information here that you might find useful. And you can read through this on your own, but I want to highlight some parts. First of all, the AP exam is May 5th this year, so you want to mark that down. And we will sign up for that online later so you can watch for that. My email's here, also my phone number. That is my cell number. You might need to contact me throughout the year, and so I am giving that to you. I've got fifth lunch, or you can meet after school by appointment. My classroom is being used during fifth, so I will either be in the portable on either side of me, Mr. Heisel's or Mr. Hayes's portable, most likely at lunch. And I'll try to leave a note or something on my door, but that's where I would check if you're looking for me. Okay, one of the most big things to point out from the syllabus is this idea of joining the Remind group. If you're not familiar with remind.com, that is a wonderful way for teachers to send out like mass text to students to remind them about homework. I use that all the time. I remind you about videos, like, hey, there's a video you need to watch tonight for tomorrow's class, or, we have an assignment it's due tonight. And so you can get those texts to you. So it's really helpful and important that you sign up. So if you want to sign up for that, you can just text at FE9H3F to the number 81010, and you can join the class that way. There's also an app you can download, but either way, you really need to get on the Remind because it keeps you organized and it keeps you up to date. I talk a little bit about what calculus is here, and then about our flipped classroom. And so a flipped classroom is where instead of lecturing in class and working on problems at home, you get the lecture outside of class, and then when you're in class, you get to work through the problems and ask questions. And so I wouldn't call our class a true flipped classroom. It's more blended, because I will still lecture a little in class and go through some things when they need to be highlighted, or sometimes we'll need to go a little deeper into something. And so I will lecture when needed, but most of the in-class time will be used to work together through problem sets, so that you have the ability to talk to each other, work through, and obviously you can ask me questions and start to problem solve through that. Okay, attendance, it's mandatory. That's not usually a problem for calculus students coming to school, but there is a policy called an E3 policy that I want to make sure you're aware of. If you have 5 unexcused absences in a semester, you can lose credit for the course. Obviously, I don't want that to happen. So if it does, we have something called an attendance intervention plan, where we basically just try to help you get back on track. If I see that we're getting close to that 5 unexcused absence mark, I'll probably reach out to you and your parents and the counselor and just make sure that we're working to get you back on track. Um, if you're out, you want to make sure that you make up the work that you missed in a timely manner. If you are out, I will put a Z in the grade book for that grade until it's made up. Um, the biggest thing is if you are absent on a test or quiz day, fully expect an email or a call or a text from your parents or you before class begins. You need to let me know that you are not going to be there. If that's the night before, like I am sick, just send me a text or an email and let me know that you're going to be out. Missing on test days is kind of that a big indicator that there's going to be some troubles for you. So you need to be in class to be successful. Okay. Academic honesty. Honestly, we work together in this course a lot. I expect you to be collaborating and working with each other and asking questions. You know, that's one of the best ways to learn. So, academic honesty isn't really an issue with this class. You'll even take group tests sometimes for a grade. So when I do give you assessments that are individual based, like quizzes or tests, unit tests, I do expect you to only be using your knowledge, not your neighbors. You know, I want to know what you know. I need to test you, not somebody else. So just making sure that you're being honest. As far as calculators go, the AP exam is 70% non-calculator. So we won't really be using our calculator until about Thanksgiving, honestly. So you can kind of put that away and we'll bring it back out when we need to. So our tests will have the majority of the questions non-calculator. And then again, once we start using it, you will have some calculator portions. So you're going to see that come up. I talk a little bit about classwork, why I assign it. Trust me, I'm giving you problems. They are cut down to just focus on what you need to know. So every problem is crucial. I give you a little course outline, what you're going to see, and um, just a quick note on the prereq skills. You really have to know how to factor and simplify and deal with fractions and all that. Those prerequisites are huge. A lot of people do, you'll hear people say, and me say, the calculus part's easy. It's the simplifying and the algebra that makes it hard. So the best you can do to hone those skills and come up with those skills, the better you will be. Our class is 10% assignment quizzes and online assignments, and then 90% everything else. The everything else is made up of like group tests, quizzes, and unit tests. Reassessment wise, basically, I only usually give that on a quiz, and sometimes it has to do with like doing some corrections. If you want to check your grades, you can do that as follows. A lot of people ask me, you know, what does it take to be successful in calculus? And so I kind of made a top 10 list. Number one, you got to watch the videos and you got to take good notes. Two, you know, do the assignments, ask questions if you don't know them. Like, don't dismiss the last 3 questions on an assignment because they're hard. Those are probably going to be the ones on the test. Put your phone away when I'm teaching. I don't end up teaching too much in class, so when I do, it's really important that you engage because I'm probably highlighting something. Make sure that when I give you time in class, you're actually working on the assignments together. That's huge. That's why I'm giving you the class time. You want to see those questions you have. Don't fall behind. Calculus is cumulative. So if you can't do what we did yesterday, you're not going to be able to do what we need to do today. Um, this is a college course, guys. I'm not going to spoon feed you. So you have to be an active learner and do the homework and focus and pay attention to do well. Obviously, join the Remind group. That's huge. Come to class on time and come to class prepared. Those are the biggies, obviously. Phones, make sure you're using them appropriately, and calculators, they do tend to walk away if you leave them behind. So make sure you've got your name etched on it. And if you need help with that, just see me. Otherwise, I'm really excited for the year, guys. I think it's going to be great. You're going to have a lot of fun learning calculus, and I think we're going to have a really great year. So, welcome, and make sure you do that welcome back questionnaire for me after this. And I will see you guys on Tuesday in class.